Hello friends, welcome back to the online classes. We were going through lesson number 2, the thief's story. Already I have finished a little in this story. I'll just recap it, whatever we have studied. Now in this story, the thief story, the narrator, he is of 15 years old, just like you people, okay, and he is a successful thief. He hasn't been yet caught by the police because he always runs away. And he happened to come a new place where he meets Anil, a stranger who is 25 years old, very lean and thin. They both meet each other in a wrestling match as the wrestling match was going on. This narrator happens to come to this wrestling match and meets Anil. And to gain the confidence of Anil, he starts talking with him, and straight away he compliments him by saying that he also looked like a wrestler. Now already we know that Anil is very lean and thin person, so he compliments him beside that he is lean and thin, that he is also looks like a wrestler. Now Anil gives him back by saying that you too look like the same. A 15-year-old boy, will he be a wrestler? No, right? He cannot be. He may be, but not like a professional wrestler, right? So he smiles. He understands that this time I have not got. I have got a tough person to gain the confidence of the person. So he just smiles and tells, yeah, I wrestle a bit. And we know why he wrestles. We know that because he is a thief, and whenever he is caught by the people or caught by the police, to run away from them, he has to tussle with them. He has to fight with them. And that is what he meant, that he wrestled sometimes. Now, as the match was going on, they both talk about the wrestlers, the wrestlers who were oiling themselves and with their fitness and all those things. And Anil was more knowing about the wrestling than the narrator. As the match was going on, Anil asked him what is his name, and he said his name is Hari Singh. Now again he lied, and why he lied, he gives the reason. The narrator, who says that his name is Hari Singh, he gives the reason why he has given this name. He says that whenever he goes to a new place, he always takes a new name because it helps him, it gives him little time to run away from that place also. Why? Now, if he is stealing in one place and going to another place, he gives a new name. He doesn't give the old name. And the people from the previous village or the old village, when they come in search of him by the name of that original name, and here he is living with a new name. So people may not find him by the name, but they could search him by the face. That's why he gets little time to run away from the place. That's why he always keeps a new name in a new place. Now the match was over. Anil got up from his place and he was going back to his home. Hari Singh followed him, and again he met Anil and said hello. Anil just asked Hari Singh what happened, and he says that, can you give me a job? Now here again I have told you that whenever we need a person for a job, we put kind of a advertisement, right? Or we tell to our friends, very especially for a maid, for a gardener, for a guard. No, we give tell to our friends, or we put in the newspaper, or we ask some people to help us with such a kind of people. So no one comes in search, no one comes straight away to us and asks us whether you can give me a job or not, right? So here something was different. Here Hari Singh was asking Anil whether he could provide him with a job. Now Anil straight away says that I'm sorry, I cannot, because I do not have much income, I cannot pay you. Now Hari Singh doubts whether he has caught a right person or not. He doubts, but then he says no other choice, because he wherever he goes, he catches the only one person. He It doesn't change. If he doesn't get anything from that person, it doesn't change. Whatever is there, from that only he will be satisfied, and he will take that and goes. Now, he says, okay, fine, can you feed me? Hari Singh asked Anil, can you feed me? Anil asked him, can you cook? And he again says lie, no. Anyhow, he takes him to his house and he says that you can sleep on the balcony, and ask him to prepare the food. He prepares the food, but the food was not good at all, because we know that he was not knowing how to cook. Now Anil could not eat the food, and he threw the food to the dogs and shouted him to get out from the house. Now Hari Singh did not go, he just lingered about the place, and when Anil saw him again, he just gave a broad smile. And with that smile, Anil realized that he cannot go. So he says, patted his head and said, come on, I will teach you how to cook as well as how to write your name. And within no time, you will be able to read and write. I will educate you. Now, hearing this, Hari Singh was happy, because he started thinking that if he is educated, then what more he can achieve, right? We know that whatever scams happens in the world, okay, whatever scams or whatever type of theft is happening in the banks or in the companies and all, these all are done by the educated people. They learn to copy the sign, forge fraud sign. They do some illegal things by documentation, false documentation and all, everything, right? So we know that. So that's why he said that if he is educated, then he can gain much more things in his life. Anyhow, he stayed there and started working for Anil. Now, his daily routine was getting up in the morning, preparing some tea for Anil, and then he will go for the shopping to buy the things for the house. Now, whenever he goes for the shopping, he bargains with the shopkeepers and always saved 1 rupee extra. Always, he was good in bargaining with the shopkeepers, and always he saved 1 rupee. Now, this thing Anil knew. Anil knew that he is very clever, and whenever he goes for shopping, he bargains with the shopkeeper and saves 1 rupee, but never gives it back to Anil. And Anil also thought that why should I ask? It is his cleverness, so let him keep. Anil was not having any kind of a job. He was a writer. He was having only whenever his writings were published, like articles, stories, poems in the newspapers or magazines, then only he used to get some money. Otherwise, he will never get any money at all. That's the way he was living there. Now, one fine day, a publisher bought his book. He published his book, and he got a good amount of money. He brought that money and showed to Hari Singh that today I've got a good amount of money. I have sold my book. And he goes to bed, keeps the money under his mattress. Hari Singh was watching all those things. Now Hari Singh was thinking, that he has shown me the money, and Hari Singh was working for Anil almost for a month. Now for 1 month, he hadn't stolen anything from anywhere, neither from Anil's house nor from anybody else. Okay, neighbors, nothing. So he is almost 1 month now. One who is a professional, who is good in doing something. Doctor, teachers, even you students, if you are now last lockdown, you people did not attend the class, and when you came for almost 9 months, you did not attend the class, and when you came to the class and when the questions answers were asked to write, you are not able to write faster, right? It was very slow. The usual way what you used to write faster, that was not there. Why? Because we were not practicing it in our home. Whatever homeworks were given, sometimes here and there used to give, right? Because ample of time was there. It was not necessary that you have to finish it today and submit it by tomorrow, because lockdown was there and schools were not open. So many things, problems were there. That's why. So what happened? Your handwriting was slow and even bad, right? Now, when you are continuing the same thing for every day, then it would not have happened, right? Similarly, Hari Singh was having the same problem. 1 month he did not steal anywhere, so he himself started doubting whether he will be able to steal the money or not. Now, he started thinking that Anil was trusting him very much. Why? Because Anil had given his room key also to Hari Singh, so he could go to his room at any time, open his door, go inside, do whatever, and come back outside. Anil won't say anything, or Anil will not know, because he was a absent-minded. He was an absent-minded person. Anil was not knowing where, what, how he was keeping things and all. No, when he needed, that time he used to search or ask Hari Singh to search for him. That's why he was absent-minded. Now, Hari Singh was thinking it is very dangerous to steal from such kind of people, those who are absent-minded, because there is no thrill in it, there is no enthusiasm, there is no joy in that stealing. Because even if he has stolen anything from Anil's house, Anil will not react. Why? Because he is absent-minded, he does not know where he has kept, and he may, even if he remembers, he may think that he has forgotten to keep somewhere, or he might have not bought only things. No, like that, he is absent-minded. So he says that there is no thrill, because a thief, if he is stealing something, there should be some thrill. That person should know, that person should get annoyed, worried, tense, something should be there, no? But here, no chance of it. Whereas a greedy person, if you steal from the greedy person, he will definitely start searching, because where it is gone. That's why Anil said that it's very difficult to steal from the place. Then he also thought that anyhow, he has shown me the money, I know where he has kept, and I will steal from him, because he doesn't pay anything to him. That's why he decided. So up to here we had finished the previous video. I have finished up to here. So let us continue from where we have stopped. So page number 10. Anil was asleep. A beam of moonlight stepped over the balcony and fell on the bed. I sat up on the floor, conscious the situation. If I took the money, I could catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow. Slipping out of the blanket, I crept up to the bed. Anil was sleeping peacefully. His face was clear and unlined. Even I had more marks on my face, though mine were mostly scars. So Anil was asleep. All of a sudden, he went to his bed and he slept. And there was moonlight coming from the window. He could easily see. Hari Singh caught up slowly, and he had already made a plan when to steal and how to go about. He knew that at 10:30 there was a train to Lucknow, the Lucknow Express. So he would steal right, say about middle of the night, take the money, run away straight to the station, catch the train and go to Lucknow. So that was his plan. And Anil was sleeping. Hari Singh got up from his bed, crept, started walking slowly in four legs towards Anil, came to him. The moonlight was almost falling on the face of Anil. And there was no scar, there was no line on the face of Anil, whereas Hari Singh were having many scars. Why? Because he used to get beatings from the people. People used to beat him, slap him, hit him, and that's the reason that his face were having a lot of wound mark. That's why. That's the reason. So he just looked at him and said that there are more scars on my face than Anil. My hand slid under the mattress, searching for the notes. When I found them, I drew them out without a sound. Anil sighed in his sleep and turned on his side towards me. I was startled and quickly crawled out of the room. Now, his hand started going under the mattress slowly and slowly, trying to touch the money. The moment he felt his fingers felt the money, he took the money, pulled it out. As he was pulling out, Anil turned towards him and he could feel the breath of the Anil. And he just took the money and ran out of the room. Hari Singh took the money and ran out of the room. When I was on the road, I began to run. I had the notes at my waist, held there by the string of my pajamas. I slowed down to a walk and counted the notes. 600 rupees in 50s. I could live like an oil-rich Arab for a week or two. So after taking the money, he just ran. He did not stop. He did not look back. He did not turn anywhere. He was just straight away running towards the railway station to catch the 10:30 Lucknow Express. After running for a while, he had stolen the money he had stolen, which he had kept under his pajamas, which were between his pajamas, so that it may not fall, and he was running very fast. After running for a while, he stopped and started walking. And while walking, he took out the money and started counting. There were 600 rupees of 50 rupees. Okay, 50 rupees notes were there. So 600 rupees were there. So he was very happy. He said that is something huge, that he could live lavishly, just like a oil rich man. With that 600 rupees, at least for 2 weeks, he could have a lavish life. He could enjoy his life like anything. When I reached the station, I did not stop at the ticket office. I had never bought a ticket in my life, but dashed straight to the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving out. The train had still to pick up speed, and I should have been able to jump into one of the carriages, but I hesitated. For some reason I can't explain, and I lost the chance to get away. So he reached to the station. He never bought a ticket in his life because he is a thief. So he never wanted a ticket. He just got inside any bogie anywhere. And if any ticket collector would come, he would just go away from there. No? He won't sit that place. As the ticket collector would come, he will just get up and move out. And if by chance somebody tries to stops him, he will just push them and run away, jump out of the train and run away. That's what his custom. That's why he did not stop. He just straight away ran towards the platform to catch the train. As he reached there to the platform, he saw the Lucknow Express was leaving in front of him. Now he wanted to go, but something stopped him. He could not believe, he could not do anything. He was just thinking, what happened? Why I am not moving? Why I am not catching this train? What is the reason? He could not explain that. Something stopped him, something pulled him back, something held him away held him away not to climb the train. And the train just passed away. It just went away from his place, in front of him. There was no chance for him to catch the train. When the train had gone, I found myself standing alone on the deserted platform. I had no idea where to spend the night. I had no friends, believing that friends were more trouble than help. And I did not want to make anyone curious by staying at one of the small hotels near the station. The only person I knew really well was the man I had robbed. Leaving the station, I walked slowly through the bazaar. So when the train had gone, he was the only person standing in that deserted station. There was nobody else there. Okay, those who came to catch the train, they already caught up and the train left, and he was all alone. He started thinking, what happened? Why I could not go? And he had no idea now where to go and spend the night, because he has run away from Anil's place, and he does not know anybody except Anil in that place. So now he cannot go back. He wants to spend somehow his night, and next day morning he would do something. He was thinking that, but nowhere to go, no place to go, where to go. He just started walking back, anything, and was a bit curious to have a small hotel somewhere near the station. But again, he was worried that if he stays there, then someone can catch him, someone can rob him. So he was very worried. So he just left the station, started walking towards the bazaar. In my short career as a thief, I had made a study of men's faces when they had lost their goods. The greedy man showed fear, the rich man showed anger, the poor man showed acceptance. But I knew that Anil's face, when he discovered the theft, would show only a touch of sadness, not for the loss of money, but for the loss of trust. Now, Hari Singh shares his experience and he says that in his short career of stealing, he had met many people, he had seen many faces when he has stolen. Okay, he has studied their faces. A greedy man always showed fear because he knows that today I have been stolen, again I may be stolen once again. You know, the thief can come and steal anything. The greedy man always shows the fear. The rich man showed anger. He would get angry if someone steals. He will get wild, and he will, if he comes to know, and if he caught the thief, he will thrash him like anything. So he get angry very fast. The poor man showed acceptance. The poor fellow, if somebody steals something from the poor man, he would just accept what to do. I should be blamed because I could not take care of my things. That's why some fellows have stolen from my things. So he will just accept. But in the case of Anil, something different it was. And he says that Anil would not feel anything. He will just feel bad. He will feel sad because his trust was broken. Anil had trusted Hari Singh blindly. That's why he had given him his place to live. He taught him to cook. He started teaching him to write his name, read the book and all those things. Even his room key. That much trust he had. So he knew, Hari Singh, that he will just feel sad, nothing else, because his trust is broken. I found myself in the Maidan and sat down on a bench. The night was chilly. It was early November and a light drizzle added to my discomfort. Soon it was raining quite heavily. My shirt and pajamas stuck to my skin and a cold wind blew the rain across my face. So he just reached to the Maidan and he sat on one of the benches there. And he was just thinking what to do. And the night was a bit chilly because it was early November and it was a bit chilly, bit cold. And over that, little drizzling also was there. And after some time, the rain started falling. Heavy rain started falling, and within no time, he was totally wet. All his clothes were sticking to his body. It was very clear, and he was feeling very, very chilled. He was feeling very cold because the cold waves also was blowing. The wind also was blowing very hard. That's why he could not sit there any longer. He just walked away. I went back to the bazaar and sat down in the shelter of the clock tower. The clock showed midnight. I felt for the notes. They were dumped from the rain. So he just went back to the bazaar. There was a clock tower. He took shelter under the clock tower. He was totally wet. He touched the money and he found that money also was totally wet. It was very, very heavy rain, and because of that, the notes also were very wet. I stop here. Rest of the story we will finish tomorrow. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you.